What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about OnyxCoin today, XCN. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Let's do a quick little brief update, right? Obviously, from last night's video, we haven't moved too much, right? We've moved down a little bit, and this was to be expected, right? I think we're at about 2.6, 2.8 cents. I forget what it was last night. Here we are at 2.56. We're beginning this descent down, and I'm just wanting to be here to hold your hand, essentially, right? To remind anybody or to explain to anybody who might not have seen last night's video, we are going down, right? And that's okay. We're probably not going to go down this low. That's probably a bit of an exaggeration. The lowest that I would expect us to go would be something in line with this, right? We probably could go all the way down to 1.5 cents, 1.4 cents. I do not expect that we go there. That's not me saying sell now. We're about to drop a whole cent and a half. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying we could go down there. And if we did, guess what? We'd bounce and we'd go to the same targets that we were looking for all along. We would just have a more miraculous bounce. It would be more terrifying of a shakeout, but all in all, things would still work out. We're still going to new highs relative to this. Okay, so if you haven't sold, if you're worried about selling, you're worried about making the wrong decision, and it drops all the way down here, don't worry. Just hold your breath. Just wait. Close your eyes for a minute. It'll be back up before you even know it. But besides that, let's talk about where I think the price is going to go. Last night, and I said I think it's going to go. What I mean by that, sorry, I'm getting stuck up here. Is I think the price could go down here. All right, and that's I guess to a certain degree that is me saying I think this is where the price could go, but I don't believe it actually will go down there, right? I'm suggesting that it's a possibility. I don't believe the price will go down here, okay? Where I actually think the price is going to go is right to this low here, either just below that low or just above that low. That's what I think, and that's at about 2.2 cents. Okay, it's very common, and I'm actually going to show an example of this in another chart here, but where you get a low like this right here, you get a central low, and then you get another low. It's like three peaks. They come in three peaks. You get this kind of like diamond bottom at the base of it, right? If you connect all the dots that way, it normally forms this kind of shape with one peak being here, another peak being here, and then your central peak being in the middle, of course. That's kind of what I'm expecting to happen here. I want to look at the, maybe we can find it on Bitcoin. I actually had a very specific example on Bitcoin Cash, but maybe we can find it on Bitcoin. Yeah, actually perfect right there. Literally perfect right there. Do you guys see it? It's in your face, right? You should be able to see it. Boom. Right there, that little triangle bottom, and you can see again, you put this line right here, this one went just below, but pretty similar. It's not an inverse head and shoulders pattern, but it's similar in a sense that you have, if you think a left shoulder, a right shoulder, and a head, kind of, but it's not an inverse head and shoulders pattern. I don't know what it is. I just call it like a three peaks. I don't even know what it is, what kind of pattern it is, but it's something I've noticed in my over 8 years of doing technical analysis. And I was saying the same thing down here that I'm saying now about XCN. What we know is that this is a very powerful bottoming pattern, and it will take you higher. It will, right? It literally will. It's inevitable. Look at what started from that, right? Look, we went from 53K all the way up to 103K, 107K, 109K, whatever. Phenomenal. Bitcoin Cash, I was going to pull up Bitcoin Cash and show the same thing, but I think the point's been made there. It's the same thing here that we're calling for. And being that Bitcoin already did that, maybe if this low is at 2.2 cents, maybe we do go a little bit below there. I feel like in my experience watching these little triple bottoms play out, these little three peaks, it's not a triple bottom. It kind of is, but it isn't. Triple bottoms are more like 1, 2, maybe a third ugly bottom. It could be like that, or it could be a bottom here, something like this, and then a slightly they don't have to be the prettiest things. This is a little bit it's a little bit different, but I suppose it is some form of a triple bottom, whatever you want to call it. Most of the time you do actually either tip that line and bounce off, or you find support just above it. Most of the time you do. This is a crypto that did a 25x in a 2-week period, or a 20x, something like that, in a 2-week period, and it's recovering from that explosive move right now. Could it see something that's a little bit more than an average drop here? I think it could. At any rate, we're about to drop. It's not a good time to sell. I haven't sold any of my XCN except for the stuff that I was doing very short term, like day-to-day, week-to-week trades with, right? Which as a total hold of my XCN, it's like 3% of what I've got in my portfolio. right? The the majority of what I'm holding in XCN, I'm not playing with it. I'm not playing with it until we're in the double digit zone above 10 cents, because that's where we're going inevitably. Why would I sell this right now to potentially buy it down here, maybe, and then it goes up? Why would I want to do that? Why am I that greedy whenever, even though yes, I fully expect the price to go down here, at any moment we could rip. We really could rip, right? In fact, I would say throughout this whole move, being completely real with you guys, as accurate and honest as I can be, this whole move, if I if I had a tally of all the times I called for the price to go lower, basically from the beginning all the way up to here, every single time I called for the price to go lower, it was wrong. Every single time it was wrong. To be fair, throughout this, every time I've called for it to go lower, it actually has been right. Maybe I've been wrong once. I've actually been a little bit more right about the down calls here. We were right about the up calls, right, the whole time. We were definitely right about the up calls, but every call that I made at first for the price to correct a little bit more, it never did. It never did. So I'm just saying, to that point, with that fresh in your mind, why would I sell here when I could be wrong? And instead of trying to play this greedy little game, getting my hand into the whole cookie jar, instead of doing that, hold on, trying to squeeze this for all it's got, I'm just going to be happy with what I have and expect the inevitable, which where this isn't even where I expect it to go. It's going to go off the charts, man. It's going to go higher than that even, right? So why play this game here? It's not a good time to sell. All that to say, if I could surmise this video, it's not a good time to sell. If you're doing short-term trades, okay, sure, it's a good time, maybe, or maybe it's not a good time to sell here, I suppose, because you're at the base of this range. The time to sell would have been over here or at earlier times than that, right? It's definitely, even if you're short-term trading, it's probably not a good time to sell. It's just a good time to wait to buy. And I believe if you wait, if you have your buy orders set, if they're anything below this 4-hour closing low here at 2.37 cents, if they're anything around 2.2 cents, I think they will get hit. It wouldn't surprise me at all if we went below 2.2 cents. It would surprise me. I'd be shocked if we went below this low at 1.8 cents. But even if we do, there is the possibility that we could come down to about 1.5 cents. Sorry, my voice keeps going out. 1.5 cents, find support on this line, complete the bull flag that we're in right now, this parallel channel, and then rip to the upside, right? Bull flags are very bullish patterns. If we did something like that, absolutely it would look like a bull flag if we were to go lower. So I'm not worried about it one way or another. I don't expect, and again, I would be completely caught off guard, and I wouldn't say caught off guard, right? Because we're prepared for it if it goes down here. I'm not expecting this. I would be surprised. It would, even though I'm talking about prices down at 1.5 cents, I will not be bragging about the price if it goes down there. I won't be like, I was right, I called for that. No, because that's not what I'm expecting. I expect that we find a low around 2.2 cents. I'm expecting we do not go below 1.8 cents. I'm just preparing you and myself in case it does, because if you think it can't go below this line and then it does, and then it bounces there and it does everything you expect, you're going to crap your pants at the worst point, right? You're literally going to make the worst decision if you're not prepared for it. So, although I don't think it's going to happen. We're at 2.56 cents now. Let's look and see at the 1 hour time frame, see if we've got any congruence with the downside. The 1 hour looks like shit. Looks like crap. I'm sorry. I've been so good about not cussing, man. It's early morning for me. I haven't had my cup of tea yet. You're in the oversold zone, sure. You might bounce right now over the coming hours, and in fact, I bet by the time most of you watch this, we're probably up a little bit. So we're at 2.56 cents right now. We're probably going to move up. I would think, yeah, we'll probably back test this area, previous areas of support for resistance, very common thing to do. That's at 2.7 cents, 2.69 cents from this relative high to this relative low. That's at your 382. Generally speaking, whenever you reject the 382 and you go low, like that's what you see. That's the average thing that you hit when you're progressing lower. And I wonder if we actually if we can even see that here. Let's see, hold on. From a high to a low there. You went all the way to your golden ratio, not to the 382 that time. Although here you kind of did reject that 382 area. Not really the best example, but that's okay. Still the golden ratio, whatever. Even if you go above the 382, if you go to the golden ratio, maybe you go as high as 2.8 to 2.9 cents, somewhere up there. I doubt that you do, but you could. It's possible. But I really like the idea of going to about 2.7 cents. You're at 2.56 cents now. Up a little bit probably over the coming hours, maybe even to finish out this day. And then going into tomorrow, I suspect that we will begin this downside onslaught to about 2.2 cents, 2.1 cents. And yeah, that'll be the low to buy, the dip to rip. and we'll be on our way to 10 cents, 13 cents, 18 cents, 20 cents. Who knows how high we're going to go, but it's going to be phenomenally higher than we are now. Invalidate me. This is what you should look for to invalidate me. Are you ready? This is what would invalidate me. From a high here to a low here. You know what? Let's even do it. Let's do it a little bit more specific than that even. I'm going to take this low to this high. Yeah. Okay, I like this. Invalidate me. All you got to do is get above this 236 on a consistent 4-hour closing basis. If you can close 2 candles above this 236 on a 4-hour or higher basis, I would be convinced that I'm wrong. That line, just so you know, it's at 2.93 cents. So if you can close not 1 hour, not a 2-hour period, not a 15-minute period, not a moment. I want a 4-hour close or a higher time frame close above 2.93 cents. If you can do that, then I'm wrong. If you can do that, we are not going down to actually what would be the golden ratio of this move here, even the 2.2 to 2.3. That's the golden ratio there. Hey, even more reason to probably find support. If we slip, sometimes you do go to that 786. Again, you can see a slightly lower low. It's okay if you do, but a bounce off the 786 is generally a very powerful thing. So, and then look at this, even back testing the 382 for resistance here at about 2.7 cents. It all makes sense that we'd go lower, but even if it makes sense, if I'm wrong, the way to invalidate me would be if we're above, if by the time I talk about XCN next, my friends, we're above 2.93 cents on a multi 4-hour closing period, I'm wrong. Just know I'm wrong, and inevitably we're going up, and I would love to be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I don't think I will be wrong, but I'm rooting for myself to be wrong here. I hope you guys are too. Hit the like button, subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you all for being here. XCN at the end of the day, it's going to do phenomenal. So don't worry about what it does in the short term. Okay, bye bye.